A lot of people are putting a ton of weight on phantom shares for AMC stock when determining how high AMC can actually squeeze. Now look, a couple things that we need to discuss about that. One, the speculation surrounding how many phantom shares are out there is just that. It's speculation. It's not based on anything that you can find with the SEC or any reported numbers. And two, you don't need phantom shares for the stock to squeeze. The reported short shares out there are roughly 87 million shares right now, and that is plenty of stocks that these hedge funds need to cover, and the squeeze doesn't need these phantom shares to take place. So in this video, let's go over basically the maximum number of phantom shares that could be in existence from the data that the SEC is actually reporting. So if all of this sounds like something you're interested in, let's get started. What's up everybody, I'm Clay. I'm here to make 2021 the best year ever. If you haven't clicked that subscribe button yet, make sure to subscribe to the channel, join us, become a bro. We are here every single day and we're growing our portfolios together. Alright, look, I know you've seen a lot of talk about phantom shares out there. Maybe you've heard them called synthetic shares. Let's briefly explain the difference between phantom and synthetic shares. Synthetic shares don't have to be actual shares of stock. You can create a synthetic share just by strictly buying and selling call and put options at the same expiration date and the same strike price. That creates a synthetic share because it tracks the underlying share. Now, phantom shares are what everybody's worried about. These are these fake shares that are out there that could be out in your portfolios right now, and those are created most often through naked short selling. All right, now there's a couple things that we need to understand when talking about phantom shares. We know that they're created from naked short selling, which is illegal. I don't want anybody to think that hedge funds are out there, creating fake shares and creating these naked shorts just at a whim because they want to. It is an illegal practice and it is looked into and it is scrutinized by the SEC and it is regulated. So don't think that they can just do whatever they want and get away with it. Yes, manipulation may be at play here, but they're facing actual consequences for doing so. So let's talk about, I've done another video, you can get a little bit more detail, so we're briefly going to discuss it here. Fail to delivers and fail to receives are what results in a phantom share. Now, fail to deliver and fail to receives can come about by many different reasons, human error, technical errors, all of that, but the one you're concerned about with right now is short selling. So we need to look at fail to deliver and fail to receives. Lucky for us, these numbers are reported and they're made public on the SEC's website. I'll link down in the description below where you guys can go out, you can download these spreadsheets yourself, you can get all of the information for AMC as well as every single stock out there and how many shares are actually failed to deliver and failed to receive. Now, to summarize this information, they can be failed to deliver, failed to receive based on long transactions, based on the buyer not having the cash available, based on the seller not having the shares. So there's a variety of reasons why these fail to deliver and fail to receive can take place. It's not strictly based on naked shorting. So keep that in mind as we go over these numbers. Now, if you go back and you download this information is reported twice a month. You can get the first half of the month and the second half of the month, and it seems to have roughly a 1 month lag on it. So we don't have any information for the second half of April or the first half of May yet. Keep that in mind. But I've compiled this spreadsheet of all of the information from 2021 so far, so January 2021, all the way up through the first half of April. And what do we get? We have 100 million fail to delivers that occurred between January 2021, the 1st of January 2021, and the first half of April 2021. What does this mean? This means that at a maximum, according to the numbers that are reported by the SEC, 100 million phantom shares could exist. Now, does this many phantom shares exist? Here's the kind of soul searching you're going to have to do within yourself. If you believe that the market is as corrupt as possible, that every single one of these fail to delivers was a naked short, and every single one of these naked shorts has yet to be delivered, then you can go with that 100 million number. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tweet out the spreadsheet so you can see it a little bit better in detail. If you want to see the compiled list that I have, if you want to go down and you want to look at all of the information yourself and sift through every single stock out there and find AMC, you can do that using the link down in the description below. But look, if you believe that all 100 million of these failed to deliver and failed to receive are the result of naked shorts, then that's the number you need to use. But here's what you need to also know. That would be extremely corrupt. These people would be facing jail time. They'd be facing market manipulation charges. They'd be facing so much scrutiny that it's incredible to believe that that would be the number. Now, here's what you need to know about fail to deliver and fail to receive. Okay, in a normal transaction, I buy a stock, you sell a stock, right? Guy A buys the stock, guy B sells the stock. So the transaction takes place the day of, right? Well, behind the scenes, they have 2 days to settle this transaction. They have 2 days for my cash to be transferred and his shares to be transferred to me. Now, if it doesn't happen, if for some reason this transaction does not take place in that T plus 2 days, we get hit with a fail to deliver, fail to receive. All of this is kept track of behind the scenes. Now, anyone that has a fail to deliver or fail to receive striked against them has until T plus 4 days in order to rectify that situation. All right? They have, whether that was human error, naked shorting, whatever the reason for that fail to deliver was, it's T plus 4 days. And that fourth day is not the end of the trading day. It is the open of the market at that day. So essentially it's like T plus 3.5, but it's T plus 4 days until that transaction can absolutely be settled, or it's considered, fraud. It's really looked into for market manipulation and naked shorting, and it gets much more scrutiny, right? They get flagged, and then it gets sent on as illegal activity, okay? So you would also have to be willing to say, knowing that all of these numbers being reported are about a month old at this time, you would also have to be willing to say that every single one of these 100 million fail to deliver, fail to receive were not only naked shorting activity, but none of them have been settled since they were flagged. Now, there are some people out there who would be willing to accept this, right? Okay. But this is the maximum number of phantom shares that could absolutely exist based on the knowledge of how phantom shares are created and everything that's being reported on the brokerage's end, on the NSCC, the DTCC, the SEC, everything that's being reported points to a maximum of 100 million phantom shares. Now, you might be saying that, well, they're creating phantom shares that aren't being reported and all of that. Guys, that's digging a hole so deep, and that's getting so far down the rabbit hole that you got to ask yourself the question, if nobody knows these shares exist, who's going to cover them, right? Hedge funds aren't going to cover shares that don't actually exist and nobody knows about. And if you're going back to the whole deal, well, the share recount's going to show us this, phantom shares don't carry voting rights. So they're not going to show up in the vote because phantom shares do not carry voting rights. So that's a lot of conspiracy talk that you're going to have to get comfortable with if you really want to believe those numbers that are in the billions and so on and so forth. It's harder than maybe to accept. The number of phantom shares is probably drastically lower than this reported 100 million because some of them are they're not naked shorts, right? They're just stuff that happens maybe on the buy end, on the sell end, and then they're settled T plus 4 days later. But look, what does this mean for the squeeze? Does it mean anything that it's going to drastically reduce the price of the squeeze? Absolutely not. And I hope you're still here in this video because this is paramount, right? Don't base your expectations on the squeeze on numbers that nobody can report. Don't base your expectations on the squeeze in numbers that can't be verified, right? Base your numbers on the squeeze and base your investing in trading knowledge and expertise on numbers that can be verified and numbers that can be reported. The share price of AMC during a short squeeze can absolutely still go to 100, 1,000, 10,000, whatever number you can think of. It can get there based on those 87 million shares that are reported as being short. So don't take this as a hit to the share price or anything like that. Take this as okay, these numbers, they don't need to be as high as some people are making them out to be. Manipulation doesn't need to be occurring like some people says it is. Guys, those are 87 million shares that need to be covered during a short squeeze. Those are 87 million shares that will be covered at some point. As long as you are not willing to sell your share of stock, as long as I am not willing to sell my share of stock, they have no chance at covering these until the price reaches such a level that everybody's willing to share their stock. So that is the bottom line. Hold your stock. Don't believe in all of the conspiracies and get so caught up in manipulation that you think that's the only way this stock can squeeze. Guys, the numbers that are being reported are paramount. The numbers that are being reported show that this short squeeze will happen. So I don't want anybody to get too caught up in all of the manipulation and all of the conspiracies that you don't trust the information that is being reported to you and you don't trust the actual numbers that are out there. So I want to know what you guys think. What do you think about these numbers that are actually being reported for fail to deliver, fail to receives? Do you think that, every single one of these is a naked short, or what your thoughts are? Let us know down in the comments below. If you are holding AMC, let us know down there, because a lot of people get nervous and a lot of people think that everybody's folding and the thing is over, but it's absolutely not. So make sure to reinforce all of this down in the comments below. Click that like button. If the subscribe button is still red, you guys know what to do by now. Subscribe to the channel, become a bro. We are here every single day and we're growing our portfolios together. There's a link in the description below for Webull. Sign up, deposit $100, get a free stock, sell that stock, buy AMC, join this movement, and it's almost squeeze time, guys. And one more thing. Like I said, I'm on Twitter, ClayBro883 at Twitter. There should be a link down in the description below as well. If you can't find me out there, make sure to go check that information out and check it out for yourself too. Use that link down there for the SEC and really see what's going on here. Now, until the next time, I hope that each and every one of you have an awesome day.